No, no, it's quite interesting to be here along the river. I watched Mike walk up and down a little while ago, and I can just picture, I can see people enjoying this, but we need to sensitize people to put their garbage up, man. You know what I mean? The place has drums. Just put the garbage into the drums. Don't leave it thrown around the place, man. This river is very important, people. This river has made our towns exist. This river has us where we are today, right? This is why San Ignacio and Santa Elena are where they are today. You understand? So let us cherish this thing, man, and keep it clean.
So to do that, Javier, the event is going to have a series of activities starting today.
Yeah.
Today is we're launching the event pretty much, and
run green, run clean.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's the our motto of all our sporting events and iron events. So today we are just showcasing. We had one guy doing the test swim.
Yeah, sorry, guys swimming.
Kelvin Aguirre, he is actually doing the individual CAYOMAN Triathlon.
Mm-hmm.
We then had Alan Sib and Jaden Sib, who they will be doing the test run. Yeah. They will be running for another team.
Yeah.
So we're going to have the relay and we'll have the individual. Right now we have 5 people, 1 female, who have already registered for the individual. And then we're going to have...
I was going to ask you.
Yes.
If we have participants yet.
Yes, we have 4 individual. Francisco Lima from
Guatemala,
from Pashkaman. He has already registered. Kelvin Aguirre has registered. Ahmed Figueroa has registered as well. And there's another guy who registered, which I just registered this week. So we'll bring those names and we're going to have interviews with them as well to make sure that we know their background on racing and triathlons. We also have a female participant who has registered. We'll bring her name to me as well. So that's the excitement. So today we're launching the event. We're going to have some interviews with some of the participants. Next week, Sunday, which will be the 12th of April, mm-hmm. We're going to have the Christery Brothers Canoe team along with the Village Council. They're going to do a cleanup campaign from Cha Creek down to the Haxford Bridge. So they're going to come down in canoes along with the FCD. They will come down in canoes and they will clean up the river, pick up all the litter and everything. And once they finish at the Haxford Bridge, when we have another team simultaneously cleaning from bridge to bridge, that's going to be the core group from Juan Polanco. They will be cleaning the... And what I like about Juan's team is that they like working on the shallow parts, and they don't only pick up the litter, they also get in and remove some dangerous bottles that have been broken.
Inside the river.
Yes, they pick up the little bottles that people have really not done well to the river. You should not be throwing your garbage in the river.
Just say it, let's say it. Say it
yes,
like I say it, right?
Yes.
People are careless and people are nasty, man. I mean,
yes. I agree.
It's not a matter of trying to purify this thing. That if they're nasty, they're nasty.
There are 8 drums from the Haxford Bridge to the low-lying bridge.
Look at Ben picking up garbage just now. I mean, it's a good thing.
But
I understand.
But what I'm saying is that
he doesn't have to do that.
There are 8 drums, and we're not using them.
Yeah.
And I always like to say something important, Javier, and I go like, the cleanest area is not the one that you clean the most. It's the one that you have to clean the least.
That's right.
That people are not littering.
Yeah. And
that's one of the things that we want. We want to enjoy our environment. We want to enjoy the rivers. I mean, a lot of countries don't have this beauty to enjoy.
Look at people enjoying the river on a Sunday. Right?
Yes,
they're going into the water, sitting down. There's a few things that I wanted to ask you about the river as well, of water coming into the river from the town. And that's very dangerous too, right?
Yes. Unfortunately, the downtown of San Ignacio has a lot of clay, so the percolation doesn't happen. So a lot of the businesses and some residentials end up they discharging their wastewater into the drains, and those drains end up into the river.
So you have a lot of bacteria multiplying,
yes.
I believe.
The Department of Environment had done some water testing, which is really impressive, and FCD does too. And so we are learning the kind of waste coming into the river, because you scientifically want to prove what it is coming to the river. And therefore, what we want to do is, with this program, we want to say, okay, what's the negative human impact, and how can we mitigate it?
What are the negative human impacts we have today?
Well, at this time, deforestation is one of them, where we're cutting the riparian forest.
Then it washes all the
silt and everything, and you have a lot of erosion, and the trees are falling. Then you have the impact of the wastewater discharge into the river, which
why would that happen?
Well, it's because people are throwing their waste into the storm drainage, and the storm drainage empties into the river.
What about herbicides and
pesticides? In the farming communities, where we're using way too much chemicals, honestly. And one of the things I always like is they say, we use chemicals to kill animals that are eating our fruits or our vegetables, our food, but then we eat it. So what are we doing to ourselves? You know, and then those wash away into the rivers again, and that is in the rivers, and it's affecting the aquatic life as well. The other impact is that we create also is in farming. We do have still some piggeries that actually wash into the river without any treatment.
So that's hurting us here too.
Hurting us as well. Yeah. And there's also another saying that says we all live downstream. So you can't say, well, somebody's up there, and that's where we're getting. So,
but Mike, I don't know if you remember when we were kids. Luis, Ben, I don't know if you remember when we were kids. This part of the river in Santa Elena, Mike, maybe you can have a little input here too as well. We used to come and swim. We used to come and swim.
Yes.
You know, we used to by that part where that cement is that boatwa for right?
Yes.
Where the boats used to come and harbor, and all the boats used to go to Belize City. Used to take like 7 days to go to Belize City and 7 days coming back, right? We used to come and swim, but look at how this place is kept. And I am not criticizing. I don't want the people to think I'm criticizing a town board. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying that it is our responsibility to keep it clean, man.
Yes.
Not only the town board. Like, we should be cutting that right now. I mean, quite honestly, when we were kids, we used to clear the mic, man. Look on that. You know? I don't know where Ghana. I really don't know what took place. I don't know what happened. But no, it's not the same, Mike.
Well, time change. And I just got to introduce myself. I'm Mike Salazar, and I am...
The great Mike Salazar, right? The great Mike Salazar.
You know, I'm listening to what you guys are saying, and it's very interesting. I think that it's whatever we're going to be doing from here, I think it will be a good thing for the community.
Yeah.
I think a lot of folks will appreciate this, and I hope that we get the support that we need.
Yeah.
You know, but I overheard you guys talking about when it was back in the days. I can tell you, I'll never forget the 80s.
That's right.
Because
right,
because what happened was in those times, I think we had a lot of cooperation, a lot of people with conscious mind and dedicated and wanting better for our community. This area, remember River Regatta?
Yes, right.
We don't have that no more.
Yeah.
Something went wrong along the way that we're not getting that kind of support that we used to once.
See, we...
Yes.
But you have to understand something, that the focus of the dependent to the river, we were very dependent on the river in the past years for everything.
We still are.
We still are, but now indirectly. Before it was directly. And I think that has lost the focus of the importance of protecting our rivers. But people don't understand that the water, when you open that faucet, it comes from the river.
Yes, up to today,
you know, and people, and that's why, and that is the reason why we need to protect our rivers.
Even though, and I hope I do not create any negative energy here, but you do realize that we have 3 dams connected to this river, right?
Yeah, of course.
And from what I remember,
this
water used to be much cleaner than it is now. And I believe that the dam has some kind of effect along the way. By the time it reach here, things change.
Yeah,
The-
the dam doesn't dirty the water though. What messed it up was when they cleaned up, I think, to do the dam, when they knocked down the trees and the chalio, right?
Well,
That's-
one of the things that happens is that whenever you're building a dam, you need to remove all the organic matter, which is all the trees and everything prior to. And what I understood happened is that not even 50% of that was removed. So all of that is being built up, and that is part of the creation of not the clean water that we used
That's
to
why I
have.
got heavy chlorine, bro.
Well, no,
Well-
chlorine is being
We were pumping chlorine into our waters to disinfect the water,
that's what
which is a worldwide thing
It's
to
very
do.
heavy though.
And it is dependent on the quality of water than dependent on the chlorine. Because chlorine has to have a certain parts per million of chlorine
Just
for it to be
remember we
potable.
talked with tone, right?
Yes.
We need to make
Yes.
we tone understand what they happen, Mike.
Yes.
You understand
So-
me? And I think the chlorine heavy. Me.
Yeah. Well, on our pipes.
Yeah.
It is
In the
because
pipe swamp.
BWSL has to give you what you call potable water standards.
well, yes.
So it has to kill the bacteria.
Yeah, but then they kill you.
The thing
It
is,
hurts or it doesn't hurt.
it does hurt your body.
Yeah.
And I would recommend putting a carbon filter, remove the chlorine, and drink, and you could use the water easily. The thing is, one of the biggest things is that if they don't put the chlorine, then you have bacteria in your water, which is worse.
Yeah. Well, I
To a
understand.
certain level.
I know
So-
that the importance
Yes.
of that list, but I did talk about Mike. Help me out. I did talk. He know a lot about anything, right?
right.
I did talk about. Do we really have to put that amount of chlorine in the water?
Well-
Up to you, the water not heavy?
Well, it is, and I did get some complaints from even the tourists who say that they sense the strong taste of chlorine in the water. However, though, according to what Louis is saying,
yes, of course.
that BWS has a standard that they go by in order to make sure that the water
People
is safe.
could drink it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and that's the only thing. So, but yes, there are side effects, and everything now
But, but if you had a cleaner river, then you don't need as much chlorine.
Chlorine. Yeah.
That's
what I'm
so
trying
we
to
all
get
go
at.
back. And so whenever people come to the river and trash it, then it affects all of that. So
But I don't like how the place look. I'll be honest with you.
well, yeah.
Like I think Minister Baluna tried this and this lot nicer now. But I think, man, I don't like how the river look. I don't like how the banks look. The banks of the river.
I
looks.
think that it's a human factor right now. It's a human situation whereby they're not being responsible and they're not picking up the garbage in time. Sometimes the garbage end up in the river.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned right now, there is a big challenge which is not mentioned, and I'm not sure if I'm going to come under fire for mentioning
Well,
this.
man, I think this is the time for mentioning.
We do have wastewater coming in from the tongue into the river,
Yeah.
yes, we do.
right? And that's something
Well,
that we have
he
to-
could tell you about that
Yeah.
because he
That's
may
something
come
that we
in.
have to address with time because it is, in fact, affecting the drinking water. And not only that, people are bathing in the river. So they can also become contaminated.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not trying to scare anybody.
No. But it's important. It's important to notice that to know that because it does. Again, a lot of people are discharging their wastewater into the drains. The drains, of course, end up in the river. We have
That's been years though.
years.
And it's
Yeah.
still
I mean,
happening.
but
still happening.
if you go back in history, not far away, San Ignacio had the dump site right on the riverside. And why was that purpose? Right after you cross the Lolang Bridge to the south.
Kind of like when Manakay, below Manakay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is that every time a flood comes, it washes away, so the garbage gone.
And Ballet don't come back from running.
Yes. So here is an example. I mean, these guys are doing the test run, 5.1 kilometers. And Javier, what was that, about 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah, but that, since the interview started, then they go.
Yes.
But overall, what we're doing here today is starting up a great idea.
Yes.
We're starting up a great idea, and I think that we got to get more of our people involved, and we got to make sure that they are informed, sensitized, hoping that once they understand what is happening here, they will give us the support that we need, because that's what we need. We need the support, and we need the sponsorship.
Well, let me say something now. We forgot something very important. The 26th of April, the CAYOMAN Sprint Triathlon will be held right here.
Well, yeah, and that's why we're talking about all of this. You know, I think we get off tangent because you passionate for the river, I passionate for everything as well. You brought up passion, so we kind of get off that.
Yeah, but nobody's important because the event is not about just a sporting event. It's about highlighting the importance of our rivers.
Yeah, how I see it. That's how I see it.
And the importance of using our rivers, because not everybody can use our rivers at home, worldwide. I mean, they have a river and it's so contaminated they can't even get in. We are showing that we can still come and swim our river, we can have an event in our river, but we need to change our attitude towards the river. Let's stop trash it. Come to the river and enjoy it, but don't leave your garbage behind.
Make ask about this too, right? I the devil today, right?
Yeah.
I play the advocate. All right. What about them vehicles where they wash down this way? I say Ben, they wash the vehicle right down this way.
That is illegal right now.
One,
Illegal.
it is illegal, but they have not been. So
I did this you, Ben.
no.
You know you got a vehicle, no, Ben?
And the sad thing about it is that one drop of oil can contaminate 50,000 gallons of water.
So then I kind of starts the way I like, right? I mean,
You see, that's important. That's a good message right there.
no, that's
So-
a lot of water.
Yeah.
So now, even if you are not washing your vehicle in the river, don't park it in the water. Park it outside. The reason why is that if it has an oil leak, it will wash away.
Yeah, but the
Wash
oil
into the
still
river.
went into
Yeah,
the
that's
river.
what I said. So don't park it right.
Yeah, it's illegal. No one can be washing their
But I see
vehicle by
people-
the-
I see
they-
people-
if they can get a ticket or get fined for doing so. Matter of fact, that's in the system. It's
I think,
documented.
and I
You can-
think right now the Department of Environment in Belize is a department that is very serious about what they're doing. I think that if we can provide enough evidence, they would actually take somebody to court for that. So I think that, and then let's bring in the Department of Environment to this conversation during our period of time, because one of the other things that will happen, and let's just bring out all the activities that are going to happen, is that we will have a roundtable discussion with Mr. Hector Silva, with Mr. Giovanni Pinello. We'll bring in Mr. John Mena to discuss about the history and the importance, because the history will give us the importance of our rivers. And when we do that, we will be highlighting why this came to be.
No, we see it. No, we see that.
Yeah.
When boats used to go on, correct?
No.
But then three guys.
But they know the history.
Giovanni never said it. You know?
But he has been researching on it.
Giovanni smart. Giovanni really.
He has been researching. So we will discuss that. We'll try to bring in Niche into the picture because I think it's important.
Well, Hector, Mr. Hector.
Yes,
The Hector, boy.
He's a historian. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure he can enlighten the
Yeah,
audience
yeah,
more
definitely.
about
And
the history.
one of the things what I like about Mr. Hector Silva is that he does only research information. He lived a lot of
Oh
it.
yeah, he lived it.
He was a mayor of the town, one of the first mayors of the town, and he lived it, and he was part of the political movement to change things. And what changed, what didn't change, he's seen it. So I think it's important that we get that insight of him, and to again go back. That should bring the importance of why our new generation must keep protecting our rivers.
Well, we have a lot of people camping right now on the other side of the street.
They're not from this town.
They're
They're
not
experiencing the west side and how calm and
I hope
safe
I
it
never
is.
then live all of
I hope not. Yeah. I think that it.
And I think they're families, and I don't think they have
Maybe they got their
alcoholic
own garbage.
beverages there,
Yeah.
because I see a lot of
Ben, tell me that,
beer cans.
No, but just to recap, because this show will be in about 3 segments.
Yes.
So I want you guys to recap one more time on the upcoming event as to why we're starting here today.
very good.
I need you guys to emphasize more in detail of what to expect and what the people should be looking out for.